welcome to the Gastlecast. I'm Chris.
I'm Heather.
I just went to New York Comic Con for the very first time. I had a blast, but unfortunately I brought something back with me that I don't like so much.
You should not talk about Eric that way.
Eric was actually the friend that I took with me to New York Comic Con. He accompanied me on the trip because Heather was unable to make it. She had work things to do. But I went, I saw, I had a great time, and take a look at some of the things that I saw while I was there. And here we are going to New York Comic Con on this really crappy day. Eric, are you excited? It doesn't help that we had too many beers last night.
Yeah, we overslept a little bit.
We overslept a little bit. We had too many beers, but we had fun. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait for Comic Con. What is NYCC without pizza?
This stuff sucks. It was like $13. I hate myself.
How awesome was all of that? It was a blast. There was so much to see. There was so much to do. And not enough time to do so, especially with only one day. However, while I was there, I at least picked up some stuff, some fun stuff, some New York Comic Con exclusives, and we're going to show them to you right now. This is my New York Comic Con 2019 haul, my very first New York Comic Con. I think I made out pretty good, all things considered. We're going to find out which one's my favorite out of this pile of things, and we'll see if Heather agrees with me or not.
Is Filch your favorite?
Probably not.
Then I disagree.
So the first thing we're going to start off with is this Filch and Mrs. Norris Funko Pop that I picked up for Heather. I did not know what to get for her while I was at the con. I wanted to bring you something back. And I knew this is something that you would absolutely love because, of course, this is a pop that you really wanted from this particular con. I think this is your number one that you wanted.
Yes.
Now, people were running around selling and trading pops during the con that they were getting from their lottery winnings. This guy happened to come from that, I guess, because he was $35 at one of the tables. I was willing to spend that kind of money. Flipper price, I don't think I did too terrible, although I guess we'll find out in the coming weeks. I just wanted something I knew you wanted.
Yeah.
I didn't want to buy something off the cuff in hopes that, oh, I hope she likes this. I bring it home and you're like, oh, this is great. Woo! And throw it behind you. You know what I mean? So I knew this is something that you'd really want. Are you happy with this guy?
I love him. I'm so happy to have him.
Yeah, I'm happy because we got our New York Comic Con sticker, which is pretty cool. This Geeky Tiki Gremlin stripe mug was something that I wanted. It wasn't high on my list, but one of our friends won the Entertainment Earth lottery, and they won like a Funko Pop from it. And if you got in that line, you could buy some of the exclusives. But you had to have won the lottery in order to get into that line at that point in time. I just happened to walk by, and they were there. I saw this mug up on the list, and I was like, here's my chance. I can get this guy. So I gave them a couple bucks. I think it was like 20 bucks. And they bought it for me while they were in line there. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have gotten this. I wouldn't have stood in the long line at the end of the day to obtain this.
Yeah.
This wasn't like a grail item for me. I just liked it because it was different, and I loved the Gremlins. And I was like, this is kind of cool, you know, because the box actually has a New York Comic Con exclusive sticker on it and everything. And it's a really neat Geeky Tiki.
It really is. Geeky Tikis are very original, and I love the look of them.
The chomps were the main items I was looking for while I was there. This is the line that I ran to. I did not win the Funko lottery, obviously, but I was able to obtain chomps because you just had to stay in line. It was not lottery based. Now, they had two chomps there that were exclusive to New York Comic Con, this being one of them. It's called the X-Ray, and he is really neat looking. He glows incredibly bright.
Yes,
like,
he does.
He looks like a light when you glow him, and it looks really neat. Now, if you remember our New York Comic Con video, I had mentioned that these were things that I wanted. I actually mentioned the chomps. Now, back when I was making that video, this was the chomp that I thought I wanted the most. I thought that this one was going to be a standout, and it was not him at all. The Liberty chomp was something I almost thought before going I wouldn't buy. I thought I would just buy this guy. But when I got there and noticed the box was bigger, it kind of got me amped up. I was like, well, this is kind of cool. Why is it so big? Well, I'll tell you why. You want to see why?
Yeah.
This thing is humongous. This is probably one of the coolest collectibles that I own now. This is probably in my top 5. Seriously,
wow.
For me, it's in my top 5. It also glows in the dark, but only the torch glows in the dark. And it's the Liberty Chomp. Look at this guy. He is massive. He is cool. He is not, he's unlike any of the other chomps that have been released thus far. I talked to the artist while I was there. He told me that this is the biggest chomp that they've made thus far. All of the other ones have been the smaller size. Now, if you put them side by side here, you can tell that there's an obvious difference in size. This chomp is just amazing. I highly recommend it for any vinyl toy collectors out there. If you're able to get your hands on this guy, you totally need to. He is cool. And what was also neat is that I wanted something to show that I went to New York Comic Con, something that was New York.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy's New York. It's
really?
the Statue of Liberty. Yeah. Well, okay. This is Statue of Liberty. So I actually bought the pin that goes along with this guy too. I like this so much that I bought the pin as well. Now the other cool thing is that there is one of the artists was there. He was attending. The other artist came a couple days later, but one of the co-artists was there, and he signed the feet of my chomps. So I thought that was kind of cool too. So I have 2 Marvel-related things to show off from this con. I have this Infinity Gauntlet pin that is humongous. Our friend Jason was there from Heroic Nonsense, and he mentioned that this thing existed. He brought me also I Love You 3000 pin, which is an Iron Man pin. It glows in the dark. He bought it, and he didn't want it, and he's like, would you want it? And I was like, absolutely, yes, I want that. And I said, well, where did you get this pin? Because I want to get the gauntlet. So he pointed me in the right direction. I went and got this thing. I have no idea where I'm going to put it. It's humongous. It does have a con sticker. I love it, though. I wanted a Infinity Gauntlet something while I was at the con, and I was able to obtain this, so this is cool. Maybe I'll put it on a backpack or a jacket or something. It's cool looking.
It is very neat.
And also, while I was there, I was able to get my Ant-Man signed by the one and only Paul Rudd. So Rudd was there. It was a long line. Well worth it, though. I was really glad that I was able to get my Ant-Man signed. It was $200, I think, or $210. So not cheap, but Paul Rudd was an awesome guy. Heather wasn't able to make New York Comic Con, so I showed him a picture of Heather watching role models while wearing her sturdy wing shirt, which is in role models. And I told him, you know, she wasn't able to make it, but she wanted me to show you this picture. And he was like, that is hilarious. Tell your wife I said hi. Paul Rudd is the man. He was really, really sweet. I guess for $210, he has no choice but to be sweet. If he was an a-hole and that word got around, people wouldn't spend that kind of money. So my number 1 of the convention exclusives is this Ron English Freddy Funko. Heather, is this also your number 1?
Sort of yes, mostly no. I prefer Paul Rudd.
Okay.
But I really do like this guy.
Yeah, so a big thanks to our good pal Art G. He hooked us up with this guy. He was there at the con. He won the lottery, and I had asked him. I never ask anybody for anything, but when I saw that he had won the lottery, I just reached out and I said, hey man, if nobody wants the Ron English ready, I would love to have it, but don't feel like you have to. And he's like, no, I got you. If I can get it, it's yours. And he met me at the con, and look, it is mine now. So this guy is amazing. I'm really happy with it. Specifically wanted it because of the skull look. We collect a lot of skulls, and I thought he would go really good with all the skull-related things we have around the house. The interesting thing is, the day of the con, on Thursday, they released a white shirt, Freddy Funko, with a blue skull, and it was also Ron English at 1K. So that's another 1,000 count. One day I hope to get it so I can match it up with this Freddy Funko.
Yeah, this one, in my opinion, is way better than the blue and white shirt.
No doubt. Totally agree with you there. That is all of our New York Comic Con exclusives. I think I made out pretty well. I'm happy with everything I picked up. I did not come home feeling like I missed out on anything.
That's awesome.
I felt like I got everything I wanted. The chomps were my number 1. If I obtained them and only came home with the chomps, I was going to be completely happy. But the fact that I was able to put this guy in there, my big Infinity Gauntlet pin in there, and my Paul Rudd autograph, awesome. And I was able to hook you up with something as well along the way. What did you guys think about all the New York Comic Con exclusives we picked up? I think I made out pretty well being there only one day. We actually picked up some more stuff from Monster Mania Con that happened in Hunt Valley, Maryland. Heather and I went there. We met some D-list celebrities. Would you say they're D-list?
They're definitely A-list to me.
We had a blast. But you're going to have to wait for our next video in order to see what we picked up there and all the stories that goes with it. Guys, remember as always, we are together, yes! We'll catch you next time!
Bye.
We hope that you enjoyed this episode of the Gastlecast. If so, please hit that subscribe button and check out some of our other fun content.
We've left you some links to some of our other videos that we thought you might like.
We'll catch you next time.
Bye.